sure we'll probably have some other folks join us as we get going here. Um, my name is Daryl Adell. I'm the IT director in the Americas, and it's been my opportunity to work through supporting the video conferencing for the company, and to work through the exercise of moving from Polycom to BlueJeans is our global video platform, if you will. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit initially here about why we're making the change. There's a couple key reasons why we've decided to move from Polycom to BlueJeans. One of the first ones is the fact that with the BlueJeans platform, we have the opportunity to be able to do call management, doing mute all like like Susan just went through, and those type of things where we can turn people's video off. We can see who's actually attending the call and so forth. The moderator or the host, and everyone attending the call is defined as a host. These are the people who facilitate meetings. They have the ability to log in as a moderator and to manage and the call and so forth. The moderator or the host, and everyone
has joined the conference.
Okay.
That's new.
Yeah, sounds a little different. The second reason is really some ease of use as far as scheduling meetings. The nice thing about BlueJeans is that it has a plugin that you can use for Outlook and Windows. There's a different tool used for Macs, and we'll cover that a little bit. But it allows you to send a meeting invite, which includes all the links and all the information for the meeting. Historically, we've had to do that manually in the Polycom world, so that's a great functionality there. You have the ability to set up delegates so other people can schedule meetings on your behalf, so that'll be a great thing for our executives and admins supporting that. We can record meetings, which we didn't have the capability to do in the Polycom world, and we'll be recording this meeting if you haven't heard, and it'll be available so people can listen to it as necessary. If they need to remember what's going on or new people come on board, we can have them listen to that. And then probably the final last thing is there's integration with this product with our intercall audio only conferences, which allows you to maintain the same ID, if you will, that you use for both video conferencing and for audio conferencing. So those are some of the big reasons that why we look to make the change. A couple things from a timing perspective. The tool is up and functional. We're working and using it today. This is our instance. It works. Most of you should have received an email from me with your current account information. It's not the same as your user ID and password. In some cases it is, but there's a lot that aren't. That has to do with the integration with now. We'll probably change that over time, but initially it'll be unique. You don't need it often based on how we'll probably use the tool. The target to start using BlueJeans actively is next Monday, the 13th. Polycom will still be available for a short period of time. We're trying to discontinue it as of the 17th, which is next Friday. So you should think about going through and coordinating existing meetings and rescheduling them, if you will, using the BlueJeans for video conferencing instead of the Polycom. That won't be hard. Literally, if we get the plug-in for BlueJeans in your Outlook, you just have to go into your meeting and then make it a BlueJeans meeting, and it'll be there, and all your participants will get the updated message with the links for it. So those are some of the key highlights and the timing on it. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Susan. She's from BlueJeans, and she's going to walk us through some key aspects that we need to be aware of as host or facilitators meetings. How do we join a meeting, which all of you have already passed that test. How to join a meeting, how to manage meetings, how to schedule meetings, some basic things along those lines, so that we'll be able to jumpstart and get going with this quickly. So with that, Susan, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks so much, Daryl, and it's a pleasure to be here this morning with you. I am Susan Kendra with the BlueJeans Network as your Customer Success Manager. I'm actually stepping in the absence of Lizzie Gardemeyer, who is on vacation this week. We wanted to make sure that there wasn't any disruption in the delivery of your training so that you could begin adoption next week. Thanks for the invitation to be here. What's a customer success manager, you might ask? Our role is just to walk alongside all of our end users and our customers to make sure that as you receive the BlueJeans solution, you know how to use the solution. You have access to people who can help you if you get stuck. You know what the routines are. And we just want to ensure a good adoption within Verifone. So glad to be here today. We're going to run through a couple of quick slides just to show you, and then I'm going to give you a bit of a tour from the moderator's perspective. Daryl and I are both signed in as moderators, meaning we can manage the call. The rest of you are joined as participants, so you don't have the same tool set that we do, but I'll, at the very end, give you a quick highlight on what those tools look like so that you can manage your meetings in the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and very quickly. And Daryl, can you please confirm that you can see my screen okay?
I can see.
Okay, so we've gone through the introductions. What are we going to cover today? We want to make sure that you're aware of what's necessary for you to begin walking down the BlueJeans path, and make sure that you're aware of best practices. Those best practices ensure today. We want to make sure that you're aware of.
Has joined the conference.
We are going to cover scheduling a meeting, joining a meeting, sharing content, and how to handle recording your meeting, leaving and ending a meeting, and then again, I want to give you a quick demo, and we'll have an opportunity at the end for Q&A. I wanted to let you know, again, at the right side of your screen, you'll see the black tool strip. There's a chat box there. If you have any questions, feel free to chat those questions, and Daryl will manage the chat window. If you have any questions at all, feel free to hold down your space bar, press and hold it, speak, interrupt, and just say, I need to ask a question or whatever, and then we'll cover that. We will have a little bit of time at the end again, just to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to ask their question and get an answer from me.
So just one thing, while this is a training exercise, it is it's not a formal activity. So if you guys do have questions, please ask, because I'm sure somebody else has the same question, and we'll discuss it through. We have plenty of time. We don't have a rush. So if you have a question, please don't hesitate to either put it in the chat session or just ask it. So.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna play pretty informal here today. As far as what does BlueJeans bring to the party, we've all had teleconferences. We've all used the content sharing on the web, and the only thing that was missing there was the seeing the eyes of the ones that you're speaking with. BlueJeans actually brings that to bear now. We can see and hear and share content all in a single tool, bringing together a global workforce. And the eyes matter. It really does affect the power of your meeting. So being able to join and see body language, have a face-to-face conversation with those in the meeting, that really does make a difference with that global workforce today. What does BlueJeans do differently? Well, in the past, there have been meeting systems that speak to other meeting systems on the same network, or you can make telephone calls. But until BlueJeans, we were never able to meet with people regardless of whether they were on our network or off. It didn't matter what the device was with BlueJeans. You could meet from any device, any platform, and that brought together a total video communications experience, combining that video, that audio, and that web content sharing, regardless of that browser or room system or device that you're using. BlueJeans is also built for whatever type of business you're in. The examples on the screen are HR and sales, marketing, and education. I'm a new hire in BlueJeans via the HR line of business. I was actually interviewed from Atlanta. My home office is in California. Had a number of interviews, never stepped foot on the Mountain View campus until my first day as a new employee. So it works well. It gives the folks in HR an opportunity to really identify whether that's a good candidate or not, and if they want to pursue that. From a sales perspective, being able to share campaigns, building trust with your customers, just being able, again, to look them in the eye and make sure that they understand you're committed. From a marketing perspective, managing vendors, agencies, it doesn't matter whether or not they're on your network, they can get to the information in the meeting because of that web link, however they choose to join. We're conducting training classes right now using BlueJeans, so it allows all of the participants an opportunity to see and hear. They can be on camera or off, and it enables learning from, regardless of where you are globally, it allows you to participate in that training. Your BlueJeans accounts for Verifone have been set up. You have up to 100 connections in any combination of devices and telephone. You are integrated with mobile and browser, so there's no worry about the connection there. All of the content sharing, video, everything is in high def. Group and private chats are available. The group chat is available on that strip that we talked about, the toolbar to the right. And if you were to open up the participant roster, you would see private chats available. There's a chat window next to each individual name, so you would be able to chat privately without the worry of anyone else being able to participate in that conversation. And then there is video sharing and recording. And as Daryl said today, we are recording this meeting. He'll get an email after the meeting with a link back to the recording, and then he can share that appropriately within the company.
One thing I want to add in here, when we talk about 100 connections, that's 100 endpoints, if you will. So if you have a conference room which has 10 people in it, that's only one connection. So I'm right now in the conference room in San Jose. If I had another 5 or 6 people in the room, those don't count against that 100. So just bear that in mind as you're, if you think you're going to get close to that 100 limit, it really depends on your participants and where they're calling in from.
That's correct. And if you do hit that 100, the 101st participant will be notified that the meeting is full. So be sure when you're sending your invitations that you're looking at that from that perspective, and make sure that you have invited the appropriate number that can attend that meeting, or suggest rooms where they can group together so that you have multiple people in the same room as much as possible. Okay, must-haves and best practices. There's some things that you need to be aware of to make sure that you can actually conduct a BlueJeans meeting. The most popular browsers are available for you, whether it's Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, Chrome. All of those are compatible with BlueJeans. The room systems, Polycom, Lifesize, Cisco, Tele, all of those are also compatible with BlueJeans. And then the Android device and the iOS devices also work with that. There are BlueJeans apps out on the Google Play and the Apple Store where you can download those apps, and they're free. You would search on BlueJeans. It gives a stellar, I love the Android app. It gives a stellar meeting experience for you if you're on the go. If you're in the car and you want to jump on a meeting, you can turn off the camera, listen in with your earbuds or on Bluetooth, and get on your meeting. And then when you get to the office, you can jump in on your computer or walk into the room and shut off the phone, and there you are. So very, very versatile applications for you to use. Skype for Business is also compatible with the BlueJeans solution, and we're actually working on an enhancement right now that would allow for the BlueJeans button to be on your Skype chat so that you could jump on a video if you needed to giving you enterprise quality video, and also allow you to speak with external partners as well, which is coming soon. You can also participate via phone if you have to, but again, you don't see what's on the other end if you're on the phone. You can't view content, you can only hear the meeting, but that is another way of connecting. From a best practice perspective, there are 3 that we really want to hammer home. The first is your internet connection. You're only as good as your internet connection. Wired is certainly the best. That delivers the best and doesn't allow for any interruptions in transmission. If you can't be on wireless, a strong Wi-Fi signal is great. If you're in a car in where I am in Georgia, rural area, the hills, a lot of times you'll lose some of the connection. That's probably not the best. So make sure that you have the best internet connection possible, especially when you're leading a meeting. That is imperative, because if you lose the signal, your meeting participants will lose you as well. From an audio standpoint, earbuds at a minimum work best. Or if you're in a cube farm in the office, if you have a lot of cubes, a lot of folks sitting around you, a headset is really best. Those noise canceling headsets work great. I'm actually coming to you from a noise canceling speakerphone from my home office, and it delivers great sound quality. The costs are small. I don't know if it's something that your company will take care of or if that's something you want to, but at a minimum, the mobile devices today deliver really nice earbuds that you can plug into your laptop always with your mobile device. Make sure that you have those in. That will take care of any of the background noise. And then from the video perspective, the whole point of video is to see the people you're meeting with. You don't want to see the top of their head or the right side of their shoulder. You want to see them face to face. So good centered and good lighting from a camera view is best. All the way over to the right, you'll see our very own Naho. She is in a good view of the camera. The lighting is well lit, so she's in a place where her meeting participants would be able to see her very well. Okay, before we go on to scheduling a meeting, any questions from anyone?
Remember, if you hit the space bar, you can talk or unmute yourself.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go on. Please feel free to interrupt if you need to. So scheduling a meeting. We have a way that you can schedule a meeting from your web app. That's where you go in, sign in with your account to the Blue Jeans information that Daryl shared with you. To schedule a meeting, you would go ahead and click on in the left navigation, the left side of your screen, schedule a meeting. You'd put in your particulars. You can set it up for a reoccurring meeting or one time. Send your invitation to the participants by entering their email address, and off you go. It takes care of sending all of the meeting details for you very quickly. Takes just a few seconds, literally. We also have something that's called delegate scheduling, which is really fantastic for those who are administrative assistants or those who have responsibility for scheduling for others on their team. In the web app, you would have that delegation option, again, in that left side of your screen. Click on delegation, add the person or persons, and you can do delegation scheduling for multiple people. Go ahead and enter their names and click on add delegate. An email will be sent to that delegate, and then they will approve, and you'll get a confirmation when that's been done so that you can begin scheduling on their behalf. So once you've received that approval, when you go to schedule a meeting using the steps we just covered, when you schedule a meeting, there will be a drop down that says schedule for me or schedule on behalf of. And you would click on the name of the person, or and it's one-to-one. You can only do meeting scheduling on behalf of for one person for one meeting. schedule them and go ahead and send that. And when that email is sent or that invitation is sent, it'll go out to the people in the invitation list using the credentials of the delegate. So everything is put together in a package just as if the other person for whom you're scheduling the meeting has sent it themselves. We also have an Outlook plugin, which is fabulous. And I understand that you have privileges where you can go and download this plugin from bluejeans.com/downloads. That information puts on your laptop a plugin that will allow you to schedule meetings in Outlook just as you do today. And if you see in the left side of the screen, you've got an orange box that surrounds the scheduling icon. When you click on that, after the Outlook plugin has been added, when you click on that, it actually will add all of your meeting details to the Outlook invitation, keeping you from having to copy and paste, do that manual process to schedule. It takes care of all that for you. So you would go in and schedule your meeting just like always, and then click on that schedule button, and it will add all of the details. Once you add those details, if you need to make any changes to that, there's an edit button, and it appears right alongside on the ribbon next to that Blue Jeans button. If you click on that, you can modify your meeting settings, or you can remove, there's a drop down right under that edit meetings text. You can remove your Blue Jeans meeting if you decide, no, I don't want to do that. That way everyone's going to be in the office. So that scheduling shortcut via Outlook really does save time, gives you a customized solution, and it allows you to get things up and running very quickly.
So one thing I just want to point out, when you schedule a meeting, when you schedule it, the email that you receive is different, or what you'll see in your meeting invite is slightly different than what your participants get. The participants will get lists that are relevant to them getting into the meeting as a participant. You, as the moderator, have another set of links, which are in the second half of the message, which allow you to get in as the moderator to control the meeting. So there are two sets of links, but participants only get half of it. You, as the facilitator of the meeting, the moderator, the scheduler, have a slightly different email. So just bear that in mind.
That's correct. That's correct. And below it will say where these moderator tools are not shared with participants. If you will look at that line, and below that, the link that is there for you, it includes your moderator pin. So if you join from the meeting invitation by clicking on that hyperlink, it actually adds the moderator pin, and it brings you into the meeting so that you can control and monitor the meeting according to those moderator tools. If you click on the link at the top just for participants, you will not be able to manage audio. You will not be able to record, that sort of thing. There are different tools, and we'll cover that shortly. But it is important. There's also a test link at the bottom of the participants list of access information that allows those who aren't familiar with Blue Jeans to actually have an interactive session with it's a parrot. It's an interactive computer generated parrot that you can check your connection and make sure that the audio works, camera, and everything. So if you see that test meeting, it's bluejeans.com/111. That'll take you into that Gene the Parrot test session. So take a look at those invites when you add the Outlook plugin. Make sure that you understand what's there and why, and let us know if you have any questions about it. Okay, for Google Calendar, there's also a shortcut for scheduling, which allows Chrome and Safari users to schedule with Blue Jeans just like the other. And again, this can be found at bluejeans.com/downloads. This uses your personal meeting ID, and it allows you to go ahead and use those internet browsers for you to schedule your meetings as well. Same look and feel as we just spoke of. For those who are Mac users, we also have a scheduling shortcut for you. Again, the routine is the download is available at bluejeans.com/downloads. There's a pattern there. Feel free to go out and look and see what's available for you. But this will allow Mac users to schedule or start their meetings as well. Again, same look and feel, uses the personal meeting ID, gives you access to advanced meeting options, just like we did in the Outlook plugin. After you added your information in Outlook, you could go ahead and click on that edit meeting, and it would allow you to make some advanced meeting scheduling options. It allows you to start an instant meeting as well. Okay, so what do we do when we join a meeting? We've sent the invitation, everybody's got what they need. When it's time to join the meeting, if you open up the calendar invitation, you can join from that, or you can join from the email. And all you would do is click on that join button, and it would open up into your meeting. You can join from the BlueJeans app. There is an app available for you, and again, bluejeans.com/downloads, where you can get the desktop app. And I understand that that's your preferred, Daryl, isn't it? Your preferred method to join these meetings?
Yeah. When you actually go into the browser initially, it'll ask you if you want to download the app, and you guys, we recommend you download the app, and then for other meetings. When you go and join, it'll typically, you can set it to your preference so that it'll automatically, even though it'll open up a browser, it'll take you into the app.
Mm-hmm. And it will remember what you did last time as well, what your connection method was previously.
So most people are going to join these meetings either in a room system, in a room they're going to join, or they're going to do it from the app or browser on their desktop.
Okay. And again, BlueJeans will remember what you selected last time. You have an option where you can choose a different method if you decide to. I always join via the desktop app. I'm on it right now. It gives a great experience, and all of our tools are consistent from meeting device to meeting device, with the exception of the room system for obvious reasons. But I'll be sharing with you how you can make that room system work consistently like the laptop as well in just a few minutes. When you join the meeting, you have that hair check screen, that self view where you can make sure everything's good, that you're centered in the window, that your lighting is good, that you can be seen. There's a camera and a microphone selection. The slide bar will turn it on and off. So if the button is blue on the camera and microphone, that means that both are enabled and ready to go. If you slide it to the left and it's gray, it means it's turned off. You'll see that. It's intuitive when you jump in on the call. Once you're ready to go, you say join the meeting, click on that join meeting button. There's also other options for you to connect in a different way, whether you want to connect via room system or whatever. But you can join the meeting from that invitation. This is what you would see. You would put in your name so that it appears in the roster. You can put first name, last name, it doesn't matter. And then if you want to add that, click OK, and then your name will appear in the roster. Again, you can change the connection option at any time after you join a meeting. The use case I suggested a little earlier was driving into the office. You've got BlueJeans meeting on your mobile app, cameras off, you're listening in, you walk into the office, you can jump in on the room system or laptop when you get in. That connections button, the icon in that toolbar on the right, that will allow you to do so. Joining from a room system. I understand the IP address has been added to your directory. Is that correct on all the room systems?
Yep.
Okay. So once you get into a room system, if you walk into your meeting room and you're ready to launch the video call, you would pull up the directory on your remote you would see the Blue Jeans meeting. Once you click on that, you will be prompted. It'll say, "Welcome to Blue Jeans," and it'll prompt you to enter your meeting ID and the passcode if there is one. And at that point, when you connect with that room system, you will be able to launch your meeting. However, there's a way to pair your laptop with that room system so you, as the moderator, can manage the call and not cause problems from an audio perspective. So if you walk into the room, pick up your remote, click on the Blue Jeans meeting, enter the information. I'm going to go back. The room system information is there at the bottom. There's a pairing code. That pairing code, and it's represented in the image as A, B, C, D, and E. It's a 5-character code that you would put in when you join on your laptop at the same time. Sit down at the conference table, click on the More Connections options, click on the Room Systems, and once you're prompted, you're going to put that 5-digit code from the screen that you're seeing after you've got the Blue Jeans meeting started or got it up. Then you would put in that 5-character code. And once you pair with the room system, that will allow you from your laptop to manage the call from the moderator perspective. That means you can manage the audio of all of the endpoints that are connected to your meeting. You can manage the chat. You can record all of those things from that laptop. If you were in the room without a paired laptop, you would be unable to do any of those things. If you had someone join the meeting and they were disrupting your meeting from an audio perspective, if you're the only moderator and you're not logged in as one, there's no one to mute that device. I have a case in point where we had an executive meeting. It was an all-hands meeting. There were a number of connections on the call. Someone was working from home on their phone. They didn't have it muted. They were loading their dishwasher and they were yelling at their kids while the meeting was going on, not really engaged in the meeting, and the room system was not paired, and it totally destroyed the meeting, and it was an executive meeting. So you want to really manage that from that perspective. Pairing the laptop is important. The instructions are not difficult. It's knowing that you have to pair the laptop and make sure that code is added, and then you're good to go. Daryl, you have provided instructions, correct, to your end users that they can access after this meeting for any instructions like this?
Yes. Yeah. We have your materials. We've gone and put it out on the portal, so it's out there. That includes parent.
Okay. And I don't want to make it sound overly complicated, but I do want to stress the importance of it if you are using a room system.
I just want to add one thing in there. So if you want to moderate or control a meeting, you have to pair your laptop in a room system. But if someone wants to share content, they don't have to necessarily pair their meeting. So if you were in one room system managing the meeting and somebody in another room wanted to share content, they would connect their laptop up to the room system HDMI cable and share content just like they do today. There's no difference from that side. If they wanted to, they could pair. There's no reason they can't pair, but there's not a requirement. The requirement really is if I want to control and be able to manage the system, I've got to do it through the web connection. The reason you would pair it is that if I log into my PC, my laptop, like I would at home or at my desk, and I don't mute all the functions, the mics, the speakers, I will create a feedback loop, which will be just as disruptive as not being able to manage the meeting. So pairing allows the laptop to go silent, if you will, but also be able to manage it. All of the sound, all of the mics get run through the room system, and then the controls of the meeting are run through the laptop. That's what happens when you pair.
That's right. Thanks for that additional information. That's very valuable. The meeting controls we're going to cover right now are from the perspective of the moderator in a portion of this, and I'll share why. Down the right side of your screen, again in that black toolbar, at the very top, you'll see your own self view of you logged in. If your camera is off, that box would be black. If you click on that box, it will open up to the left in a little bit bigger window so that you can, check your hair. It makes a great mirror. And then when you're finished with that, you can X the box closed and it'll go back over to the smaller box. That keeps it from taking up too much real estate on your screen. So it's removed and up and out of sight. When you leave the meeting, that leave button, the red box with the arrow, that's on everybody's view. That will be the first of 2 steps to exit to make sure that you haven't made a mistake. We'll talk about that in a minute. The group chat, I already spoke of that. There is the chat window that goes to everybody. If you want to send a private chat and you want to make sure nobody sees it except the intended party, do not use group chat. That goes to everyone. Everyone's notified that's there. Participants are documented in the participant roster. If you click on that link, it'll open up again a window to the left. Everyone that's listed there connected to the call, whether it's room system or individual, is there. If you click on that person's name, you can see how they're connected. If they're having problems with call quality, maybe someone on your meeting is saying, I'm losing you with the audio, or the video isn't good, they can turn the camera off, mute the camera, and that will give a little more quality to the rest of the call, improve bandwidth there. So that's an option for you if you are seeing quality issues on a call. But you can see how. Go ahead.
So one item there, just so people be aware of, if you have people that call in on audio only, it's going to show their phone number. It's not going to show their name or anything like that. So you'll have to recognize the phone number in order to determine who that is.
There's another way to avoid that. If someone is calling in by phone, if they can join via the laptop, and there's an option when you join the meeting, if you're joining by phone, that will turn off the laptop audio, and it will allow you to connect so you can view screen content. And that phone number and that laptop connection will pair. So instead of 2 separate connections, it would be one, and then that phone number would be shown under the name of the person that's logged in. So if somebody is truly out and about, phone only, can't get on a mobile app, that's the way that would show up. Below the, and the moderator controls are in that participant link as well, all the way to the bottom. The share content icon is directly below that. Once you click on the share content button, that will allow anybody who's logged into the call the opportunity to share content. That's not roles-based. It is for anyone that's connected via the mobile app, the browser, or mobile device. And then, of course, from the room systems. You can also adjust your microphone, camera, or speaker settings on that settings window, turning them off and on. If you have multiple devices plugged into your laptop, perhaps you have a webcam off on another second monitor, and you want to use that as opposed to the integrated camera in your laptop, you would pull down the camera mode and select the proper camera so that you're able to see yourself in the self-view window, and the participants can see you as well. If you're not seeing yourself in that self-view window that's provided, your camera's not on. So same thing with microphones. There's a microphone icon, and under that is a little orange bar that as you speak, if the microphone is enabled, that yellow bar will move from the right, left to the right, and let you know that it's working. And then there's a test link under the speaker pull down menu, so you can make sure that you can hear. So if you're seeing that yellow bar, you're seeing your picture in the mirror in that self-view window, and you can hear on that test speaker session, then you're good to go. Everyone else can hear you and see you as well.
The most common issue with the video is that people have it's selected the integrated video on their laptop, and their laptop is closed, as opposed to using an external web cam which is connected to like a monitor or something like that. So typically that's what happens is you haven't selected the right video camera.
Right. And if your laptop is docked and you can, if you don't have an external web camera, please undock that and use that camera so that your other meeting participants can see you, because again, the eyes matter. Muting your microphone and muting your camera is below that. You can click on those icons. A red line will appear across it. That means that's disabled for the moment. You can click it back on it and it will enable your microphone or camera again, and you can be seen or heard. The red button below the camera icon is the recording button. That is only available on the moderator panel. You won't see it any other way. And there are multiple, you can have as many moderators to a meeting as you'd like. We recommend no more than 3, and they're very specific use cases. If you have a high-level meeting, high number of people joining, or maybe you've got a VIP meeting that you're conducting, you may need someone to help the speaker who would manage the audio, like Daryl is managing the audio today on this call. You've got someone maybe who might want to manage the chat for the questions, and the higher the number of participants or endpoints in that meeting, the more this is really necessary. And then you can have someone pushing content. So if you had a VIP speaking, maybe it's an all hands meeting and you've got 60 endpoints on the call, you would have someone pushing content, someone managing the audio line, and then someone managing the chat window. That allows for a good experience for everybody, keeps the disruptions to a minimum. The caveat there is everybody that logs in must log in on their laptop as a moderator, and the host would need to provide that moderator PIN number to those that are in that role helping. Hope that helps. Across the bottom of your screen, if you hover over your screen now, you'll be able to change the speaker layout. As a moderator, I can suggest the layout for everyone. You can override that by selecting your own layout there. There's also the drag and change the size of your video people and video content by dragging it to the left or right. You can go full screen over to the right, and that will be all content. Full screen over to the left is all people, or a combination of the two. If you're on a laptop now, you can hover over and do that. And for anybody who's a participant, you can share the screen. Click on that blue button, and it will give you the options to share either your full screen or a specific app that's open on your laptop right now. Okay, meeting settings. Again, these are the settings that are available to you on that gear on the right side. It is labeled settings. If you click on this, this is where I was talking about, where you have the microphone, the camera, and the speaker, and those are pull down menus. Just make sure before you jump on your call that you can be seen in the self-view window, that you see that yellow bar, orange bar under that microphone icon. If you're not seeing it, pull that menu down and check the selection. Make sure that the correct speaker is chosen. On mine, I have a noise canceling speakerphone is what mine's called, or I have the default device, and I always check that voice canceling, noise canceling speakerphone. And then that playtest sound link under the speaker, that allows just a snippet of sound so that you can make sure that you hear it. If you don't hear it, pull down that menu, check, and make sure which has been selected, and select the correct external device. As far as the more connection options, that will allow you to check, and if you want to make selection to move to another way of connecting, that's where you would select that. You can always select your preferred connection, and Daryl alluded to this a little earlier. In step 3, you can say always ask, or you can select how you would like to connect each time. And it will, again, remember what you did last time, but know you can always make that change if you wish. And then you can turn on and off browser notifications and hit hints and tips. Those are pop-ups that are available. The moderator controls, the meetings can be set up as moderatorless or moderator. And that means if you have your meeting set up as a moderator, nobody can join and start talking to one another until the moderator has joined the meeting. And we've all been in that meeting where we're waiting in a lobby and we're hearing the background music. That's what a moderator meeting is. If you're doing a moderatorless meeting, that means I've made a selection in my preferences on my account, and I have said this meeting can start whether I'm there or not. That will allow people, once 2 connections have entered the meeting, they can talk to one another. Doesn't mean the meeting starts, it means they can talk to one another, and as people join the meeting, you can have conversation, just as we did before our meeting started today. If you are the moderator, you will have the ability to mute all or mute individuals, and you would click on the participants panel in that toolbar to the right. And as you see in the screenshot to the left, there are 3 participants. Jean Blue is the moderator. They are shown by the blue bar to the left of the name, Jean Blue. You'll see that there's the sound icon that's going on out to the left of Jean Blue and Ann Jones. That means there's noise or sound coming from both of those endpoints. Now, Jean Blue is talking because that name is highlighted, it's bolded. They're the moderator. They would be able to actually click on the microphone of Ann Jones, who is also sending sound at the same time. That's a distracting noise coming from Ann Jones's endpoint. So if I'm Jean Blue and I'm hearing that background noise and I'm speaking, I can click on Ann's microphone, mute immediately that sound, and then get back to business. So you can meet everyone, you can meet individuals, you can set things up so that people are muted upon entry, that the banners don't show up when they join or leave. You don't have those beeps when they join or leave. You can push the same layout to everyone. Like I said, I can set that up so that you've got your active speaker, and that's only the person that's talking. If you have the active presence, you've got the large window and then the film strip below it, and then you have the Brady Bunch view that we call. It's 9 boxes. It's the maximum of 9 that you see, regardless of how many endpoints are connected. So it's based on who's been talking last. And if there's fewer than 9, the number of connections that show up will be in equal size windows on the screen. You can also drop participants from this meeting as a moderator. You can lock the meeting. All of those buttons are evident when you click on the participant panel. And it's shown at the bottom with the 3 lines, horizontal lines at the bottom left of that screen. Those are your moderator tools. You can record the meeting, as I showed you earlier, and you can end the meeting for everyone. One quick point, that lock the meeting, that will allow you to look at your roster, make sure everyone's there. If it's a sensitive meeting, you don't want anybody to step in unexpectedly or in error. You can lock your meeting, and that will make sure that no one joins until you have unlocked the meeting or ended it. And then you can go on to your next meeting, and those that might be joining early for their next meeting, they won't interrupt you. The moderatorless meetings, I shared with you what that is all about. That allows your meeting to go on even though you're not there. Um, if you want the meeting recorded or you want audio managed or whatever, somebody has to join as a moderator. And if that's you, that's fine. But if you can't be there, please share your credentials with whomever would be acting in your stead. If you want to set up your meetings as moderatorless, go out to your account, your Blue Jeans account, and on the settings, you would select Start Meeting Without Moderator. We'll cover that in a moment. We also have Blue Jeans for mobile, same tools, same capability, just at a smaller scale. The Blue Jeans app is available, as I told you, for iOS and Android. You can go out to your respective app stores and download them for free. It will incorporate all of your account details into that. You can start a meeting immediately or join as a guest, have access to content, audio, video, all the tools that you have just seen on the laptop version. And my only caution is please do not use the mobile app without earbuds. That will be a poor experience for everybody. And you will rate us as a very bad a bad solution. We don't want that. Make sure that you've got a stable Wi-Fi or LTE, and then go ahead and join. Give it a try. The mobile controls, again, I just spoke of. You've got the layouts. You can do your layouts. You can share content, send invites, hang up, enable and disable your camera and microphone, see yourself. It's a robust tool. As far as content sharing and recording, you can share your content from your laptop or mobile devices. If you are sharing content from your laptop, you will have an option that will allow you to share your entire desktop or from a specific app. If you have multiple displays, if you have dual monitors, click on that dual monitor selection so that you'll be able to share from the proper screen. But once you choose what you want to upload, you would click on that down in it's represented on the 3 below where you want your entire screen or an application that's open, and then it will allow you to share. You click on the share button and then you go out. I always use my full desktop whenever I'm sharing. So I would go out and share my full desktop, and I would push whatever application I'm using via that option. To share a recording, a video during your meeting, the moderator needs to upload that video to their account before the meeting. So if you're in marketing and you want to share the latest campaign, make sure that you get that MP4 video to your host. They can upload the video to their account, and then they would play the video by selecting the Share Videos button, and they would be able to share, and it would go through the room system and laptop and mobile device audio of each of the devices. Can you share a video from your own? You sure can, but it's not going to capture the audio like it will if you do it through the account of the host. Once you're recording your meeting as a moderator, you would click on that red button at the bottom right. When that recording turns on, everybody knows it's on. You hear the recording is started, an audio, a voiceover that comes on. If someone joins your meeting late, they will be told that the meeting is being recorded. So you don't have to worry that nobody knows. There's a red light that's flashing right now on the top of your screen. That's because our video is being recorded. This meeting is being recorded. And once we've ended that recording, as I said earlier, Daryl will receive an email bound into his email account that says, here's the link to that recording. And then he can share as it is finished. One of the things you have to be aware of, recordings are done from the moderator view. It captures all of the audio, all of the people that are on video. It captures the participant roster. It captures content being shared, all of the discussion. The only thing it does not capture is the chats between group and private. So everything else is done from that moderator perspective. And again, accessing that recording, there's either an email that's sent to your email account that allows you to click on that view recordings button and it takes you over to your account page. And then you can also just log into your BlueJeans account and access it from there. There's a recordings tab at the top. Click on that. It gives you all the information, the name of the meeting, the date, the title, and it allows you to decide whether you want to keep it for yourself, share it with folks just in your enterprise, or if you want to share it to the global meeting participants or others. It can go outside of your network to anyone who has that link. We're nearly finished. Leaving and ending a meeting. If you are ready to end your meeting, either as a moderator or as a participant, you have two different ways of doing this. They all start at that leave button. Click on the leave button at the top. The moderator has the option to drop everyone. You see the box to the left that drop everyone. If you click on that, you can select that. It ends the call for everybody. You can say now, or if I have to leave and I'm the moderator, I can extend this for another few minutes, up to 30 minutes actually. Just be careful if you leave and you have another meeting scheduled right after this one and it's your personal meeting ID, you're going to have somebody walk into that meeting. So make sure, use that judiciously. If you want to let the conversation, though, continue because you have to drop off early, go ahead and set that up for however much more time is needed by the participants. Select leave and off you go. For anybody else who is leaving, not the moderator, any participant, you can click that leave button. It says, are you sure? You say yes, and off you go. At the very end, after you've selected, yes, I'm ready to leave the meeting, you'll see there is a way for you to provide us with feedback by clicking on either great, good, okay, poor, or bad. That's just how was the quality, not the content that was being shared, your meeting participants, but the BlueJeans solution, that video communications experience. Was it good? Was it great? Was it horrible? Please let us know. We take that information when you click, it's one click. When you click on that and you leave the meeting, that tells us that if there was a bad experience, we want to know about it. We can check. You can add text, the next screen, if you wanted to put in details. My meeting ID is whatever, and the audio was horrible because, or I never saw my participants because. We can go back and look at that and find out what the root cause was. That will be something that Daryl will be interested in to make sure that if there's training issues that need to be addressed, or if it's a network issue, or if it's a BlueJeans issue, that helps us to know. So if you don't mind, do that as often as possible. You also have access to the BlueJeans community, which will allow you to learn about what's going on, what's coming. It'll also allow you to ask questions. You would sign in with your BlueJeans and password. Go ahead and feel free. You can join at community.bluejeans.com. And then you can see what others are saying, other customers as well. It's a great opportunity to be a part of that BlueJeans community. And Daryl, I know we are just right past the hour. We want to open this up for Q&A. I'll be happy to stay on and demo the moderator panel. We're a little bit longer than I had planned. How would you like to handle this?
That's fine. I just have one closing comment. The recording that we have, like I said, I'm going to publish it and make it available on the IT portal, along with some other materials which are already out there. If you would go out to the IT portal and type in BlueJeans, it will give you a whole list of documents that we've made available out there to talk about many of the things that which we've discussed today. So that's a resource that's available to everybody.
Do we want to cover anything else, or are you comfortable with what we've done so far? Do we need to do any demo?
I think we're okay. Are there any questions that anyone has?
I'll unmute everybody. Okay, everyone's unmuted, unless you've decided you want to be.
Okay, well.
No questions for me.
Okay.
And let me
Well,
suggest too, as you are learning to use the Blue Jeans solution, please turn your cameras on. Grab a buddy that you work with, send a couple of test meetings, moderate a meeting, join as a participant. The quicker you're comfortable with the solution, the quicker you'll be able to adopt it. It's a fabulous solution. I used to be a customer and joined the Blue Jeans team nearly a year ago. And I was a quick adopter, and it really has changed the way I meet, even before I joined Blue Jeans. So,
well,
all right, Daryl, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.